Good morning. This is Mohammad Asif Omar. Today, I would like to share the story of my internship and experience and the bridge map, the gap between learning and the classroom, and how the real work projects operates. I have two projects, like the two identical houses were being built in the Campbelltown under my internship company called Caliber Builders. This dual occupancy project, which individually built two new residents, one block, was noteworthy because it showed how careful planning and design could satisfy the growth and the demand of house. Project planning and scheduling were the main focus of my duties. My company gave me the whole detailed drawings of both projects and asked me to complete the estimation, the cost estimation, the work estimation, the scheduling and planning of the project. I had to direct role in the task coordination, daily activity tracking, masters scheduling update, and on-site communication with several teams. This was a paced. This was quick paced, experiential learning process rather than a checklist. I used my discipline knowledge. I used my discipline knowledge, focused, ethical obligations, work with the team to solve the problems, and give careful thoughts to what professionals work requires. So my project story is based on the two horses and on the same one site. On a single lot, the project itself entailed two buildings, attached residential units, buildings, two complete complaint houses on schedule and within quality standard, and the obvious goal, but carrying it out required careful plannings. I helped the planning team for the start in order to ensure that every phase from the obligation to final inspections was organized, tracked, and updated carefully. I had to assist the setting up the Primavera P6, assign durations, and create logical links. I observe how to relieve on a plan. A well-designed schedule does more than just like dates. It also helped me avoid misunderstanding, define expectations, and maintain team focus. So my next uh, point is structure, tools, and thinking ahead. Like, I looked over the most recent site driving every morning and compared them to the project schedule. I worked in a Primavera P6 to highlight the critical pathway changes and add float where necessary to modify the activity based on real-time process. Additionally, I kept activity logs and created weekly summaries and tracked reports using MS Excel. Decisions made on site were frequently impacted by these documents, which were presented during the team meeting. At this point, the academic knowledge I had required began to pay off. Ideas like work breakdown structure, schedule baseline, and critical path analysis were no longer merely theoretical. They become the cornerstone of my daily activities. I was able to apply and evaluate my learning knowledge and skill in real world setting, and which was one of the main learning outcome right there. My next learning outcome was team coordination. So the coordination team took place significant portion of my day. It In my team there are three persons, like project leader, engineer, and site supervisor. So with the project leader who explain the schedule and talk about the resource adjustment, for engineers who explain the task requirements, what will be the task on the site, and for the site supervisor who provide update on process and completion dates. I would identify overlapping tasks in schedule and recommended a change when subcontractors had them. One time, for example, one team required the same space. Delay would have resulted if it hadn't changed the order of the activities. Another significant result at this point was that I was exhibiting enhanced interpersonal and critical thinking skills. When schedules becomes unpredictable, I develop my ability to listen speak clearly, and provide solutions. So another significant result at this point is that exhibiting enhanced interpersonal and critical thinking skills. When schedule become unpredictable, I develop my ability to listen uh, intently, speak clearly, and provide solutions. So my next milestone was the real accountability. The order of the activities were determined by the health and safety regulation. For instance, maintaining access separation team between teams was a legal compliance issue as well as sounds planning. I realized the part of my ethical responsibility was to transport in reporting, particularly when there were delays. I observed that truthful, accurate reporting was valued and expected. I revised the plan and brought up the matter when a delayed matter delivery costs or farming to be delayed. The team would value the transparency, reorganization, and internal work using that data. This was a direct connection to the learning objective concerns, addressing discipline relevant legal and ethical issues in work duties. It served as a reminder that professionalism encompasses more than just abilities. It also involves ethics, accountability, and safety. For my next milestone, what tools I use to this, and how I'm expert on those, become the expert for those tools. I mainly use two tools. The first one is Primavera P6, which allowed me to build sequences and update schedule using critical pathway tracking and baseline comparisons. And another one is Excel, which I use to documented progress, generate activity logs, and support internal communications. And also I use the planning and cost estimation. Also include I use like Excel for the cost estimation as well. Through this process, I was able to increase my confidence in using professional tools, gain better understanding through the data flow between documentation, site conditions, and decision makings. For next adding what it adds to my values is that I would have simply follow directions in some situations, but I also changes to streamline process. In one instance, I saw that two tasks were planned for the task that overlapped. In Primavera, I suggest to update sequence and it was approved. It stopped a serious disturbance. I went from being merely an intern to become someone trusted to spot issues and propose real solutions thanks to the moment like that. You can acquire the type of thinking outside of the classroom as well, foreseeing issues and proposing solutions. It results from working as a team. So the what were the main challenges, the main real challenging, and how I respond instead of reacting to those challenges. One issue was the main issue was the weather. I assisted to rescheduling the program, and it was predicted to rain right before to concrete pouring, or the team took precautions to keep things on schedule. Planned duration that could correspond with on-site realities presented another problem. I had to determine the ripple effect, update the Primavera schedule, and convey the changes to the upcoming project team meeting. These scenarios taught me how to handle risk-related people, tasks, and location, and how important to respond to in a flexible yet methodical manners. I also realized how important it was to have a seasoned team members supported me. They helped me without interfering, allowing me learn by doing. So the uh, personal and professional growth, reflection, and taking a steps back were two of the most crucial aspects of this experience. I received great feedback from my supervisor for being proactive and open to the learn. By the end of the internship, I was even trusted to take the lead in reviewing the weekly schedule update. As I thought about the academic side, I become aware of how different real work is. You work with clean data at the university. Things change all the time on sites. I learned from that how important to it to communicate, adjust, maintain composure when things change. I was also able to identify the organization's strength and weakness. Things to this experience, teamwork was a big plus. Questions were encouraged. The absence of the structured onboarding process was a weakness. To took me more time to learn software system on my own. So in conclusion, I would only say that in summary, the internship served as more than just a prerequisite for the course. From using planning theory in a practical setting to work with experts, handling challenges, and consider some my own development, it was fully learning cycle. It enabled me to fulfill each of unit primarily learning objective. I worked closely with the team and capable technique knowledge in a real world environment. I encountered and addressed ethical and legal realities. I critically reflected to my professional and personal development. So I also uh, I have a lot of work to do on Primavera and Excel as well, and thanks to my internship program, which enables me to be masters on Primavera and scheduling and planning as well. Thank you very much.